Destin, so let's get to... Are we calling this Twitter Talk? Are we going with Twitter Talk?
Yeah, okay, let's do Twitter Talk.
All right, that's what I called it last week. We went with last week. Twitter Talk. So Sony gave their PlayStation 4 release date this week at Gamescom, as we expected they would, as they pretty much outright said they were going to do. It is November 15th in North America, November 29th in their other 30 territories, because they're doing 32. Well, I guess 29, yeah, because there are 3 territories in North America. All right? Canada, U.S., Mexico. Those are 3.
That sounds right.
That sounds good. Anyway, so for our majorly North American audience, November 15th for PlayStation 4. I'd kind of heard the sort of rumors were it was going to be either late October or late November. It ended up coming right in between those two. So the question now for Microsoft is, what are we looking at? Destin, now I have an old prediction I'll go back to in a second, but I want to go to you. What do you think that it's important for Microsoft to beat Sony to the punch, even though they're in North America, let's say, since Microsoft's launching in far fewer territories? And what do you think the date's going to be?
Okay, I know what your guess is going to be, and I think they have to launch at that date to kick the crap out of Sony, like as best they can, or at least catch up.
Yeah.
You know, and that is November 5th. They need to launch with Call of Duty. They had a bundle announced yesterday at Gamescom.
Yes.
And, if they launch on that date with Call of Duty bundled in, they will put a dent in the competition.
Now, just to be clear, it's not bundled in with the console the same way that FIFA 14 is free in Europe. That was their other big announcement. Ben, I want to ask you about that in a second. But you're saying that they announced a bundle, just like they do now, where it'll be, instead of $4.99, probably it's going to be $4.49 or excuse me, $5.49 or $5.59. It's the same as buying Call of Duty separately, really. But yeah, I'm with you. I said this back at E3. You can look it up on IGN. I really think it's going to be November 5th, possibly even before that, meaning sometime in that November 1st to 5th window, because exactly what you said, Destin, Call of Duty, it just has to be. Microsoft has cuddled up to Activision so much, particularly with this franchise. They really are doing their best to try and convince people that Xbox is the Call of Duty console, and I just don't think you can launch your new console that you've been promoting the Call of Duty Ghosts on as a big thing for the Xbox One. I just don't think you can come out after the other versions come out on November 5th. So now one of my Twitter followers, who unfortunately I did not write down the name of before the show, so I apologize, but he gave what I thought was a cute marketing suggestion. Would be since it's the Xbox One, it could come out on November 1.
That works.
Which would also, and then I tweeted him back and said, well, and November happens to be the 11th month, so it could be Xbox One on 1/1/1. Right? Could happen.
Yeah, that could work.
Could happen.
I can basically see the posters just rows of ones.
A lot of ones.
Get your one on 1/1.
Didn't they do that with the last Call of Duty? 11/11? 2011 or something
that was
like that?
Skyrim.
Oh, that's what it
Skyrim.
was. Yeah.
That was their big thing, was the 11/11/11. So yeah, that's where I think the release date is going.
Well, what about Ben? What does he think?
Did we?
Ben?
Yeah, let's hear.
I think your point is pretty valid that by now the Xbox is and probably will be known as the Call of Duty box or Call of Duty console. But and I think you're right that they should launch it together with Call of Duty Ghosts. But I think that both consoles have so diverging software sets from the get-go that I don't think they're speaking to different audiences when at the launch. So I think and people are just habitual, so they go with what they know. And Xbox gamers who played Xbox for the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, they're probably going to go with Xbox because their friends are on it.
That's exactly right.
And people are much more averse to change, to big change, especially if it's such a large price point. I mean, $400, it's cheaper than $500, but it's still a bunch of money.
So what was your date?
My date? I'm guessing the 5th of November.
All right, so we're all in agreement on November 5th now.
Well, I actually posed this question on Twitter.
Yes.
And Durain123 said that the OG Xbox was launched on November 15th, 2001. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that, if they did that again, it would be the same day as PlayStation 4. Imagine that.
Oh
You jokingly posted about this, Ryan.
I did. I said I would love to see that only because I know you would go out into San Francisco to the midnight launch lines and just film the fanboy chaos, the fights, the broken bones, the probable gunshot wounds. That would almost certainly happen if PS4 rabid fanboys and Xbox One rabid fanboys had to line up in the same line on the same night.
Wear
a bulletproof vest that night, Destin, if that happens.
George Reimer said, I think DMC Ryan is on the mark with November 5th.
I like it when people agree with me. It makes me feel good. Nobody thinks after, huh? Nobody that responded to the question? Later?
Well, here we go. Nick Graham, 1986, said November 4th to beat the COD launch rush, plus COD Ghost a day early on Xbox One.
Well,
that'd be interesting.
That's not going to happen.
No, that can't, right?
It'll be November 5th for Call of Duty. That is their day. That is what they build their marketing around.
Yeah, I think the November 5th is pretty much locked in stone. It's too big of an apparatus to change that now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how much time we have left in our 10-minute Twitter talk.
Let me check.
Destin. But
we're fine. We're about halfway through.
Good. I want to get Ben's take on the big European announcement, which I had a lot of negative reaction on my Twitter because of the U.S. not getting anything announced for them right now. So, Ben, it was every Xbox One console pre-order in Europe is getting a free copy of FIFA 14. Now, you're already an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
But we were talking before the show that you were saying you're not quite sure which console you want to buy first. You're going to buy them both.
Eventually,
right?
sure. Yeah.
But you're not sure which one to go with first. Now, does this FIFA thing sway you at all? Are you a soccer fan?
I am a soccer fan, but I'm not a soccer game fan.
Okay.
I love watching soccer. I love playing soccer. I've never really latched on to soccer games, but I'll tell you that here in Germany, I've gone to so many buddies' house and we'll boot up FIFA on the PlayStation. And I think that's their aim here.
To try and take away some of that.
Yeah, to chip away that because I've never gone to a friend's house and we've booted up FIFA. Never.
On Xbox, you're saying?
Yeah, on Xbox.
So, have you? I know this only just happened yesterday. Have you talked to any of your friends since this announcement? Who maybe are they going to go Xbox this time?
Well, I'm going to Gamescom on Friday with my best friend, and we've both kind of like said, okay, both of these consoles are awesome.
Yeah.
But we can't really decide which one until we've gotten our hands on both of them.
Fair enough.
And see which one for us is the killer app.
Wait, you mean you haven't already made up your mind and blasted it all over Twitter and...
No, I don't vomit onto my phone and see what sticks.
Good for you. That's a sensible thing.
I mean, I have to touch something before I buy it.
But, okay, so, well, tell me then, so I know you haven't had a chance to talk to your specific friends yet, but as someone who grew up here in Germany, in Cologne, in a, where soccer is, where football, I should say. I gotta say football while I'm here. While a place where football is the national sport by a mile. Do you think that this makes a difference? Because the reality
it definitely could.
That a PlayStation 4 at $399 plus a copy that you do pay for of FIFA is still cheaper than an Xbox One with a free copy of FIFA. So, do you think this is going to have an effect in Germany and in Europe?
It could work as kind of like the small stone that tips the scales in the favor of the Xbox. When people see Titanfall, I mean, you all said that Titanfall was pretty much like a dream come true.
Yeah, we'll get
press
to that.
Into a game.
We'll get to that.
But it could be like but I think it could be that small percentage that people said, okay, let's go Xbox, because.
So you think maybe it could grab the on the fence people? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, because they said, okay, I'm getting the Xbox. I'll have FIFA in the bag. I can get another game.
Yeah, exactly right. True. Exactly right. So I think that's
we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it for this week's 10-minute Twitter talk here on Podcast Unlocked. Be sure to subscribe to the show for free on iTunes or the Zune Marketplace.
Of course, the Zune Marketplace where everybody gets it.
Well,
there are listeners who say that they get it there.
Come join us for the entire full audio version of Podcast Unlocked each and every Wednesday on IGN.